Obtaining your wedding music is not just from the radio. You have to have a supplier for that music. And today we're going to be talking about the legalization and about the business of promo only. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Wedding Songs Podcast, featuring newly released songs you need to know and the tried and true classics. Get song ideas from the time guests arrive until the last dance of the reception. And now your host, Matt Campbell, founder of MyWeddingSongs.com.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wedding Songs Podcast. I am Matt Campbell. We're going to be talking about music. Today's guest, Nick Hahn from Promo Only. Who is Promo Only? They are a company that specializes in promoting music and music videos to DJs and venues and so much more. So welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm totally stoked to talk about music and the legalization and all that and about your business. Just to get started, can you give a brief history of Promo Only and your role with the company?
Sure. The company was started in 1992 in June. So this is literally our 33rd anniversary month right now, our 33rd anniversary year, but this is the month of June. We're currently celebrating that. It was started by Jim Robinson and Pete Werner in Orlando, Florida. Jim was a local DJ who was servicing Universal, Disney, but also working with Pete inside the theme park at Disney's Pleasure Island. Pete was the resident DJ, the main DJ at Mannequins, which at the time was probably one of the most famous nightclubs in the country, hosting folks like Madonna and Michael Jackson and whatnot. It was a pretty impressive place, I'm told. But he was a Billboard reporter, and record labels were trying to get him music as fast as they could. And Pete and Jim noticed that so much of the stuff that they were getting would be easier if it was delivered on CD. And so they started reaching out to some of the record labels to see if they could get permission to take these promotional records they were getting and putting them on a CD. So they pulled their money together and produced the first disc in June of 1992. And basically what's become Mainstream Club, which is a format we still on disc, but also inside of our online download system, Pool, stands for Promo Only Online. And the rest is history. They added more formats, I believe, in the late 90s. They bought Wolfram Video and started offering video, and they've been doing that nonstop ever since. So I joined them. I met them in 2000 when I started DJing. I was a national trainer for Pioneer. And then I went on to head up the marketing department after Carl Detkin switched over to product planning at Pioneer. And I was looking to get closer to home. I had family members that weren't doing so well, and I was living out in California. So Pete and Jim had an opening in the marketing department, and I left Pioneer in 2006, and I've been with Promo Only. This is year 20 for me. I'm in my 20th year right now. Marketing and sales are my area, but I'd say we're a pretty big team. Now, we've got designations for management and worker bees, but really, even the worker bees, they have just as much say. They do more, if not, they do as much, if not more, than management in most cases. And so a lot of people say that this place is like a family. Well, Promo Only is truly like a family. So many of the people that are there have been there for 15, 20 plus years. We don't have a place to work, and we've been very blessed to be able to serve the DJs for as long as we have.
That's crazy to me to know that I was probably one of the first customers you guys had, where I had the urban series, the country series, and the mainstream series back then. But it was the best way to get the music, and I think it still is too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I was a customer of Promo Only before I joined them. So I'm proud of our product. I'm proud of our customer service. And I do think that we're still an extremely important tool in the record label's marketing efforts. Yeah. Thank you for your patronage too, by the way. You said the 90s earlier before we started. So that was a long time ago. Yeah.
It was. Before we get more into it, who is eligible for the Promo Only subscription?
Professional wedding DJs, professional club DJs, entertainment venues, any place that music can be played for a variety of people, like sporting events, even a barber shop would qualify if it was for use inside the shop. We do have to verify that people are legitimate DJs now. Back in the day, it was a little more, we didn't advertise to anybody but DJs, so it wasn't as strict. But with the rules and regulations changing and the licensing agreements that we sign every few years, now it's required of us to actually verify. So if you went on the website today, you signed up, you've got to provide 4 credentials, and they're fairly simple credentials, but a lot of times we have people that just don't meet it, and I have to, you can go ahead and sign up, but typically I have to cancel you and refund your money, or just cancel you right out if you're not a DJ, because we do have to maintain our integrity with the licensing agreements that we sign with the labels. It's not like they come and they check behind us, but on the off chance they do, we can honestly say that we do verify everybody that comes. If you're a bedroom DJ just starting out, you can still qualify, but it's going to be tougher for you to do. But we always try to help walk people through the steps they need to get qualified as a professional.
Yeah, exactly what you're saying too. There's a lot of hobbyists in our industry. So I think that making sure that the music gets in the right hands is important.
It's important mainly because we're protecting sales for the artists. I know that a lot of people are streaming now as opposed to buying downloads, but it still matters whether it's $1 that we're taking away from the artist. We're not in the business of hurting the artist's bottom line. So ultimately, we want to make sure that the people who are qualified for public performance are going to be the ones receiving these discounts and this content, not just random folks outside the industry. So it matters. It does matter.
Yeah. There's so much legalities. I've interviewed musicians on here, and yeah, it's a crazy industry. What makes promo only different from other music subscriptions or music pools for DJs?
We're one of the few licensed and fully legal record pools, which means that we service only the new releases for audio, meaning if you signed up today, you would have access to the last 3 months of content and everything going forward, but not everything from, say, 10 years ago. But if you signed up 10 years ago, you would still have access to everything that you got 10 years ago. The reason that matters, record pools are a promotional vehicle for artists and labels to promote new releases. A lot of these record pools are taking to show added value. They're ripping songs, or they're buying a CD and ripping songs that DJs would typically have to buy. Sony Music famously came down on most of them 3 or 4 years ago, the ones they knew about. And so most of them have pulled all their Sony content. Warner and Universal have been a little bit slower on getting that done. And people always ask why. If they're not legal, then why aren't they? Because this is a niche market, and as much as DJs think that we're super important, that's nothing compared to the biggest numbers. And so that's one of the reasons. But other than that, let's say everybody was legal. We have broadcast quality audio. We get it directly from the labels. We don't do YouTube rips. You can take a spectrum analyzer and analyze our files to see that ours are the quality that we say they are. They've not been ripped and then converted to make them look like they're 320 bitrate MP3s. We also offer WAVE. Apple also supports 320 bitrate MP3s at no additional charge for any format that you choose. We offer everything. We're not just, hey, we're just doing what's popular. We do pretty much everything that the major labels release: Latin, Christian, country, rock, hip hop, R&B, various forms of electronic dance music, pop music, and everything in between. Especially for a mobile DJ, there's just so many things in there that a club DJ is going to stick to a lot of the top releases consistently, but a mobile DJ has got to find all sorts of songs for weddings. In fact, it's funny, when I first started DJing, I just didn't have a lot of respect for mobile DJs in my brain. So I'm a cool club DJ, not realizing that DJs actually probably know more music than club DJs, simply because you get these oddball requests from the bride, the groom, the family, and all this stuff before the wedding, not to mention what comes in during the wedding. It takes a lot of work to be a mobile DJ. And I was in for a rude awakening when I finally did my first mobile gig. I was like, oh my gosh, I had to brush the taste of foot out of my mouth. That makes any sense.
But yeah, my biggest thing is you only get one shot. If you mess it up, there's no take backs.
Yeah. But if I mess up at the club, nobody cares. They just forgot about it. You know what I'm saying? You mess up at a wedding, it goes on your Yelp profile and your Google reviews and all that other stuff. And then on top of it, you think about how difficult it is to be a wedding DJ. Club DJ has got a built-in crowd every week, and a lot of those are the same people every week. So you get to discover what they like and what they don't like. You only have one chance with that crowd one time. You don't see them again. It's challenging to be a mobile DJ, no doubt.
Yeah.
But we, again, back to what makes us different, the broadcast quality audio. We have the cleanest edits in the industry. I'll stand by that. And nobody has cleaner edits than we do. And the selection is intense. And then having the second largest video library in the world, and I think we still do. That was what we were always touting back in the day, but that could be far off now. But we've got all the music videos you could possibly hope for too, all the way back to the 70s. So we take great pride in the quality control that our programming and production staff has, and then on top of it, customer service. And nobody beats our customer service. When you call Promo Only, you talk to somebody. When you email us, we get back to you. We talk to people on the weekends. We talk to people after hours. It's just whenever our customers need help, we're there for them. So we're very proud of that, and very proud of the folks that, from our IT tech department to our customer service and sales department, are really good about being there for our customers.
Yeah, I can second that. When somebody has a promo only or music question, you'll always get tagged in the Facebook groups, and you guys are always responding. So yeah, I agree. Customer service is fantastic. It's funny. I was going to ask you about the clean edits, but are you guys providing mixed intros and outros with your songs too?
We do. We have the promo only intro edits and the quick edits. The quick edits are basically intro, a verse, a chorus, and an outro. The intro edits are just the song with an intro and an outro. Typically, the intro edits are clean, although we've started doing some explicit intro edits as well. So if it's marked explicit, it is explicit. If it's not marked clean or explicit, it's clean. But I've been asking them to mark them as clean now too, instead of just making people guess. Yeah, we've been doing those for years. We have thousands of those in our library at this point, but our department is constantly churning those out. So very handy. And if anybody's listening and they wonder, I recommend going with the intro edits, not the quick edits. If you play a quick edit, you realize you don't have a way to do it. So if you play the intro edit, though, you can just mix out at the chorus and with the intro of the next song. So yeah, don't download the quick edits. Download the intro edits. Do what you want, but that's some serious advice anyway.
That's a good tip. Wedding DJs and wedding pros, are you ready to elevate your expertise and keep the dance floor packed? Introducing the Wedding Music Letter, your weekly email written by me, Matthew Campbell, packed with exclusive insights and inspiration. Every Wednesday, I deliver curated playlists, deep dives into wedding and music industries, and practical tips on topics like science of creating a playlist, managing decibel levels, and crafting unforgettable parent dances. Stay informed, stay inspired. Subscribe to the Wedding Music Letter and bring the best music moments to life at every wedding. Sign up today at weddingmusicletter.com. The Wedding Music Letter, expert insights every Wednesday straight to your inbox at weddingmusicletter.com. Now back to the show. You mentioned the legalities. One of the reasons that I was attracted to Promo Only was the legalities, because I had a competitor in the industry that watched everything that I did, and I wanted to make sure everything was above board. So what are the key legal risks DJs take when they do have the illegal music, or they're using YouTube for their playlists? Can you give any insights into that?
I'm not going to sit here and fearmonger and tell people that they need to worry about the music police showing up to their gigs, because the likelihood of that happening is very small. But I will say, karaoke, that's a completely different animal. If you're using pirated karaoke, you're playing with fire. That is the kind of thing that they own that content. The karaoke companies that produce it, they actually own it. They're not there on behalf of the labels, the artists, or anything else, and they will get their money. In fact, for a while there, they were actually making more money by suing people using illegal libraries than they were selling libraries. But as far as why you should consider it, first of all, as DJs, we like to tout that we need to get paid what we're worth. So we need to do the same thing for the artists. You know what I'm saying? We need to make sure that they're getting their cut, or at least the label's getting the cut, so they can further promote these artist releases and help these artists grow. Second of all, quality. If you're getting stuff from a dubious pool that's providing mashups and catalog audio and all this stuff that you know is not legal, their quality, a lot of this, they're not getting this stuff from the labels most of the time. Some of them are getting some of the stuff from promotions departments, but they're ripping this stuff from YouTube. It's going to sound terrible on your great speakers. Spend $1,500 a speaker, and then you're running a garbage 128 bitrate MP3 through it. It's not good for your crowd. It's not good for how people perceive you. Talking chronic ear fatigue as people are listening to you play throughout the night. And then on top of it, when you support illegal pools, this is especially for you veteran DJs, when you support these places that are giving entire libraries away for $10 a month, you're basically planting the tree that you plan to hang yourself on, because you can't complain about all these bottom feeder bedroom DJs coming in when you're supporting the very services that make it possible in the first place for them to enter the marketplace and not have the same sort of overhead that you have. I've spent my life collecting my music library. It's ridiculous that anybody thinks that, oh, I can spend $10 and I can have what all these other people have been. No, it's not right. You can play whatever mental gymnastics you do, but it's not right. And ultimately, you're hurting yourself by supporting those folks. But legally, nobody's going to show up at your gig and put your hands behind your back. More than likely, I guess it could happen. I mean, technically, piracy is punishable by that. But I've never heard of it happen here in the U.S. Now, Canada, on the other hand, they do check. Connect goes through and checks to make sure you have proper licensing. But in the U.S., not likely to happen to getting back.
Yeah, with 2 million weddings a year, the BMI and ASCAP are not walking around making sure that all these wedding DJs are legit.
And they don't, and that's the other thing too. ASCAP, BMI, GMR, CSAC, they don't really care about DJs. What they care about is making sure that the venues are licensed. So the venue is paying the proper license, come through, and it's just not happening. Like they're more concerned with physical piracy than digital piracy. But that's people selling hard drives and bootleg CDs and stuff like that. But the digital piracy is a different animal, and they've got teams that focus on that. But typically that goes again back towards they're looking for the biggest fish in the ocean. I think DJs don't have to worry about going to jail necessarily,
or even getting a ticket. I offer a lot of oddball hidden gem songs, and the one thing that I pride myself in is I always make sure that every song that I recommend is at least available on Amazon, so that way they can download it for 99 cents or $1.29 or whatever that looks like, because it's in the past where it's not available through, like you were saying, promo only. You're only available for the last 3 months if you just signed up. But those hidden gems from the 1970s or 80s, you still have to get those when the bride's saying, I want this song played at my wedding.
But you just nailed it. A Yacht Rock is a prime example. Right now, Yacht Rock is having a big moment. It's been going on for a few years now. And those songs they're not something that a record pool would promote. Mm-hmm. So DJs, if they want to play that type of music at their barbecues, at family events, at weddings, whatever it is, they need to go out and purchase that song. And like you said, if there are 2 million weddings in the U.S. and let's say there's 80,000 DJs in the U.S. and everybody had to go out and buy Sarah Smile by Hall & Oates, that's probably about 35 to 40 grand worth of income that Hall & Oates would be missing out on. Obviously, Amazon or iTunes is going to take their cut, but the artist gets that other cut. So you start thinking about it, you're like, oh, it's not a big deal if I just illegally download this song from YouTube or from one of these pools, but you're basically taking $1 out of their pocket. And I guarantee you there's not one person that would put up with me just coming up and taking $1 out of their pocket, much less 80,000 people taking dollars out of their pockets. So it's a matter of doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. Yeah, you can do it. You can do the things. You can do all those things. But it says more about you than anything else if you're taking that. You can't spend $1 on a song. It's like you're probably not really a professional anyway. You make $3,000 on a wedding, but you can't spend $10 to buy the music you need. It's crazy.
Or we come from the era of the CDs. I have to buy $12 CD just to get one song.
Oh yeah, same thing with records. I was
Right.
paying $6 for a single, all the way up to 13 for imports for one song.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'm not complaining. I actually miss those days. Not the money, not the expense, but I like having things now. Everybody has every song. You have
Yeah.
access to every song, and it's intense. I
Yeah.
do miss those days where you're like, look what I got.
Yeah.
Now nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah, it's the ownership that I think of, that you own. I can physically touch it. I own
Right.
this. Yeah, huge. We're talking about music. What recommendations would you have for wedding DJs that are trying to stay up on the new music with promo only?
We've got, if this were an ad, I would tell people our top 40 $12 a month pick covers both top 40 radio and rhythm radio. So it's a lot of dance, a lot of hip hop, a lot of pop, with a little bit of country and rock crossovers, plenty of intro edits and quick edits. And that'll probably do for most, especially if you're a wedding DJ, if you're only doing weddings. Now, as this country becomes more and more integrated with folks from all over the world, you got to start thinking about, I live in Chicago. Am I going to play country music? Actually, you are, because people from Alabama and Nashville are moving to Chicago. And I live in Montana. Are going to be playing any Caribbean music? Sure, you are. There's folks from Cuba that might move there, Mexico that might move there. You need the Latin music. We have another subscription called Pool Audio Silver that pretty much targets all the formats. So basically, everything that you were getting back in the day, plus all the other discs that you weren't getting, is now about $40 a month. So you can have access to all of that content. So Christian, Latin, Caribbean, rock, EDM, whatever it is that you're looking for, pretty much everything but adult contemporary jazz. And I would say that those are the two things. I don't generally recommend people going with we have a platinum series that does all video and audio too. I think that's overkill. I think if you're needing video, that's pretty much all you need. You don't need to buy the audio as well, because with your software programs like Virtual DJ and Serato, you can just output the audio without just playing the video. So no need to buy both of them, just buy the audio. But that also, I'd like to say that if you're a newer DJ and you are looking for that back catalog stuff, you can buy some of the hot video classics and do exactly what I just said. Our best of 80s, 70s, 90s, all those series, they're available in video format, and you can get them for as low as $15. Run a special every week, and that allows people to build up their back libraries with, sometimes they're decades, like I just said, but sometimes they're like, here's best of country, or best of reggaeton, or best of EDM, best of alternative rock. We just released about best of classic rock. These are all great ways and inexpensive ways and legal ways to build up your back catalog and fill missing holes. That's pretty much it I definitely think the $12 subscription would work for most DJs, but a lot of people.
So then, and just so I'm clear on this, because that was going to be one of the questions I had going, let's say a DJ's just starting out, he or she's building their library. You have the hits from the 80s. So the way that you guys offer that is in video format instead of the CDs back in the day or the MP3s now. You just offer those as videos?
Yeah, correct. We also have something inside a pool. We do have another option to purchase if folks are against that and they're looking to purchase audio. We've teamed up with a third-party company called I Like Music, and they're a British-based business that specializes in servicing broadcast quality audio. So typically radio stations are their bread and butter, but you can go inside a pool and purchase those tracks, and you can buy them individually for less than you spend at Amazon and iTunes, and they're all wave quality. If you'd like it down converted to a 320 bit rate, you can do that. You just select that when you're downloading, but you can buy credit packages, and the credit packages, they're $1.27. They start off at $1.27 a credit when you buy 5 credits. But if you get up to, I think, if you buy 500 credits at one time, I think they're 82 cents a song. And then they also, I Like Music runs, they provide these discount codes or these discount codes will give you an extra 30% off on a package like 250 to 500 credits. So you can save a lot. And I know a lot of DJs spend a lot of money on iTunes and Amazon. And this is an in-app, like it's inside our application, so you don't have to leave. And if it is in your pool subscription, if you're looking for a song and it is in your pool subscription, it'll actually pop up and say, hey, by the way, before you purchase this through ILM, you have some songs by this name in your library. Would you like to see them? So it keeps people covered. So on the off chance they have a song they didn't know they had. That's the two ways that we offer catalog music. That's basically what it boils down to. The record labels still need to make their money on that catalog stuff. So we're not going to get a better deal really than Amazon or iTunes if we're still trying to make that profit. So we have that library to sell catalog stuff. We just cannot legally do it. So we don't. So we have to go through a third party to help make that happen.
Speaking about music and the DJ industry, do you have any thoughts of where the DJ industry is heading with music and streaming and where we're going to be at in 10 or 20 years?
100% streaming. I feel that as Wi-Fi networks and towers get better and these download lockers are made available through these streaming platforms and the streaming companies start paying more attention to the needs of the DJ, you're going to see more and more people gravitating towards streaming. 100% streaming. Like I definitely think the world that you and I came from will be gone in 20 years. I don't think people will be purchasing music in the same way that they do now for DJing purposes. And that's fine. I'm actually not raging against progress. I'm fine with that. It's a great way for artists to get paid. Currently, though, if you check the terms of service with all of them, they're not actually meant for professional use. These DJs that are out there using them streaming, they didn't read the terms of service. I don't care. I'm just saying, technically, they're not made. That's why you've seen Spotify in virtual DJ, and then it's gone. Like right now, we just found out that Apple Music, it's in and made available on several of the platforms. The terms of service, it's for personal use. It's not for professional or commercial use. And I don't know whether or not the labels will crack down on them and have them pull it, or if Apple's legal teams will do that eventually, whatever. But I think that eventually it will come to a point where the record labels, these streaming companies are all in sync. They're providing a professional, commercial way to play music through a streaming platform that's tethered. And that's 100% where I see it. I see music continuing to develop and evolve. Our kids' will have their own music, and we'll be talking about how much we hate it and how much better ours was back in the day, because that's how we're built. And otherwise, I think things will continue the way they are right now. I think I'm not too concerned. I see a lot of DJs talking about AI. If I had one thing to tell DJs, learn your MC skills, become a great MC. That's the one thing AI will never take away. And if you're a good MC, doesn't matter if AI takes away your job, you'll still get hired. Plenty of needs for masters of ceremony, and most of us are lacking in the ability to effectively talk to crowds. That part I'm not worried about.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I was talking to another DJ yesterday, and we were saying that same thing, that just creating those little moments that music can't create. You're talking on the mic, making that moment special, and it could be something as simple as introducing the toast that AI isn't going to be able to have a custom introduction that brings in the personality of that person.
And I will say, you hit it, personality. You can't fake that. That can't be created. That is who you are. And developing. There's a speaker in the industry. His name is Rob Foray. And I knew Rob before he was a speaker, before he was a DJ, before he was doing it. And yesterday I watched, he was here in Nashville not too long ago, and he was doing some sort of event and built on his new thing called teamification, I think. And I was just marveling at how great Rob has become over the years. His process is honed and refined, but it is who he is as a person. His personality allows him to engage the audience, and he's really dialed that in. And AI will never take that away from somebody like him. Like, he's got that down to a science. And I'm blessed to know a lot of Ruben Irvin, Elliot Hansen, a bunch of these guys that are warm-up guys like the Steve Harvey Show and for the Star Wars stuff. These guys, they make their money talking, and they do create those moments. they do create memories for people that music just won't do on its own at an event like that. So practice
100%.
speaking.
Yes. Most people are scared of it. So that's definitely something that's going
Yeah.
to set you apart for sure. Talking about promo only, are there any upcoming dates or innovations in the pipeline that you want to share or know about?
We're always releasing new specialty videos. We just released, like I said, Best of Classic Rock. We'll be releasing the Best of 2024 series coming out soon. But the pool updates for our online service, Promo Only Online, that will constantly updating that. One of the projects that our IT department is working on is include functionality that will allow people to import brides playlists from, say, Spotify, search the promo only library and download all of them for them into a folder. That is probably the biggest thing that we've been working on. I don't have a target date for that launch, so I'm not going to sit here and say I don't know that. It could be ready any day, but I haven't heard any updates for a while. And then we've teamed up with several other companies, folks like Bibo, and trying to make our catalog available to them to be able to do the same thing inside of Bibo. And we're working with a company called 7 Point Audio, which that was the trade show I was at last week in Orlando, National Association of Athletic Collegiate Directors. This company, 7 Point Audio, provides workstation for program directors, music directors, and in-game DJs to play back music and audio clips. And really cool program was bundled inside the program, so those businesses can get access to legal music as well. But that's about it for right now that I'm thinking of. My boss is always talking about streaming, but I don't know if we'll actually do streaming or not. I have no idea. At my level, that's not something I just take what they give me. Yeah.
It's always interesting to hear. I'm friends with somebody from Lyric Find, and 5 years ago they were talking about bringing lyrics to your car, and I'm like, it's just some of those stories, like you said, the importing of the brides lists. It's just interesting to know where we're headed.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies out there in the DJ realm that are doing really interesting and neat things. You think about how light weight wise our equipment's gotten over the years and how easy it is to carry around all your music now, whereas you used to have to carry, it was harder to find your music as you were looking through them, or crates of records. Now you've got everything on a little hard drive or thumb drives or whatever else.
Yeah.
It's exciting times for DJs just in general. And I know a lot of the older heads like myself sometimes like we pine for the old days. I'm not keen on breaking out 10 crates of records, going through them, make sure they have the right ones, and load them up in my car every time.
Even battery powered, just to set up a speaker somewhere for a
Oh yeah,
cocktail hour. That's
oh yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. The Everse from EV, the Everse 8,
Yeah.
and you're seeing all this. Just what are those little jackeries? So these powered batteries that you can take, and even if you don't have it, you can run up one of your other speakers. So it's crazy. Is there something specifically that you think is exciting right now that?
I was just thinking the battery powered. One trend I'm very happy about is just uplighting and creating a mood versus dance floor, the shining of the lights. I think that's one trend I'm very happy about. Just create that atmosphere, and lighting's come a long way into not
Oh,
having the par cans and all that stuff.
oh, and they're so hot and they're so hot, they pull so much power. And then talking about that, you think about folks like Danny Max from Max DJ booths, whereas I used to have a 10-foot table or 6-foot table with a tablecloth draped over it. Now I feel like that's flea market because folks like Danny have made these beautiful, affordable, portable booths. It's really amazing how far we've come in just a short period of time, or at least it feels
Yeah.
short to me anyway.
Yeah, it does to me. That's a great example. Definitely the booths and how professional the setups look now.
Yeah.
That's a great point. So, is there something that we missed that you wanted to share?
If anybody is watching and you're a current or former promo only subscriber, thank you. That's it. Thank you so much. We appreciate your support. We know you have other places to choose from, some that are not licensed and cost a lot less, but we appreciate you supporting our business, and we're always open to how we can serve you better. Again, just cannot say enough how much we appreciate our customers and and how much they've done for us over the years. So that's all I really needed to add.
No, I appreciate the authenticity that it comes out heartfelt, and I can tell that you guys do care about your customers. As closing, how can DJs find you and connect with you and sign up for promo only?
Well, you can always find us at www.promoonly.com. You can go through the sign up process there. You can email us at promo@promoonly.com, and we can get you set up with a free, no strings attached, no credit card needed, 1 month of service. If you're looking to follow us, we are on Facebook. Glenn Irvin, myself, Nick James Hahn, just look for us on Facebook. We accept friend requests from pretty much any DJ, whether you're a subscriber or not. We do like to keep in touch with folks. Those are the best ways to reach us just in general. Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate you, Nick, for being on the show today. And I'm always been a huge fan of Promo Only and everything that you guys are doing there, and wish you guys all the best of luck in the future as, like we're saying, moving into streaming. But some DJs will definitely stay with Promo Only no matter where we're headed and follow your journey.
And we appreciate that. So thank you so much for having me on the show. And just appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. And stay tuned for next week for another episode of the Wedding Songs Podcast talking about music and weddings. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Wedding Songs Podcast. Never miss a future episode. Subscribe today to our podcast. Follow us on Facebook at My Wedding Songs and send us a message about playlists you would like covered.